Hello and welcome, this is Viking Quaid attempting to do a beginner's guide to EU4 on patch 1.22.2, a game that seems as massive and complex for newcomers, but once you get a grasp of things it gets quite easy and quite enjoyable. This is meant to be a lightweight guide into the game. For deep explanation and exploits I would advise watching others streamers or YouTubers. This is merely to get into the game and handing out some of my experience during my over 4,000 hours into this game. First off, we will have to select a nation. All can be picked, and there are quite many, as we can see. There are some nations who are easier and some nations who are more difficult. And for those who doesn't really need or wants to go through the nations and different numbers in the starting screen, I will tell that I'll be picking France. For the rest, nearly every nation. 2 seconds. Nearly every nation have unique national ideas. Nearly every. There are few who either share or have some generic ideas. But as you can see, starting out, France has national manpower modifier plus 20%, and diplomatic reputation, and an ambition, which we refer to as the finisher national ideas. We can see other nations have different national ideas starting out, but every nation also have these ideas which are unlocked during the game by developing idea groups, which you can use. I will get more into that a bit more later, but you can pick idea groups to either complement or supplement your national idea groups. By using those two words, I mean I can either decide to stack morale, or I can try to pick something that since I already have morale bonus, I'll pick something that that will supplement morale, like discipline, or going for a trade idea instead, since I don't really need more morale. Let's see. On the screen we have a number of suggested nations. We also have different regions like Empire of the Sand, the First Nations, Kingdom of the East, and we have different periods starting out. Like we can go all the way down to the French Revolution, which will have different advisable nations. I will, however, advise starting out picking Ottoman of France, since they can more easily afford making a few mistakes without you losing the entire game. There we are, and here we have some other. So I'll just take the Grand Campaign, as I call it. Let load up. When you have tried the first playing as either France or Ottoman, try playing as a small nation like Denmark or Portugal, Papal State or something, Venice. Just to it's less. You won't be bombarded with as many decisions and stuff as when you play a huge nation. And when you will fail with a small nation, go back to a large nation and you'll actually realize you have learned quite a lot already just by switching back and forth switching back and forth large and small nations. When you return to the large nation, you will actually be quite more adept at the game. For these videos, I will pick France over Ottoman. Since 1.23, the next patch will roughly be here in a month, I think. Will have changes to both how Ottomans are played, and will have major changes over in the Middle East. So I'm kind of waiting on making an introduction video for the Ottoman. Until then, I'll likely make one by then. But also France will have the option to show off quite a few things. They will get hopefully they will get an easy war against England due to an event. They are able to show off quite a lot of mechanics and features. One of them being to colonize, which I will also like to show off. It will be a while though. You can use this video to run in the background while you try to do the exact same thing, like a step-to-step guide, but it will be very difficult to do because it will likely not happen in the exact same way. But I will try to make some pointers as we go along, just to give you an idea of what to do in different situations. But again, this is a basic guide. You should be able to do something similar to what I'm doing and be successful, at least in the beginning. I will also Twitch this later on, or use Mixer. It's another streaming service I'm trying out as well. But let's try to get in. As France, you can decide to play the normal mode or the Iron Man mode, so you can have achievements. I still lack at least one achievement with France, so I'll just try to do it. I save to Cloud, doesn't really matter. In my experience, I will lose less saves using Cloud, but well, some dislike that it takes a bit longer to save the game every 3 months. Make up your own mind on that. I use it. I like it. It's fine for me, really. So going into the game, just taking a while. Yeah, here's the map. We can go over the map modes. You can right click to quickly select some of the map modes you have taken. You can remove them. We can do that, and you can add. Let's add diplomatic, and so you can basically there's a shortcut for each, so you can quickly get past them. Oh, sorry. I will give one little hint. Well, I decided to put estates and trade goods together, because when I want to hand out estates, I would like to hand them out to some crappy trade goods, since they will have an effect on. Let's see. They will have an effect on autonomy. Not sure where it will tell that. Yeah, here we can see it. It will have an effect. It removes local autonomy for local manpower modifier, but the minimum autonomy is 25, meaning I will get less tax and production from the province. 2 seconds. But fool around with these. There's loads of map modes you can use. Set it up like you want, like you need. It's not every game that requires the same. Map modes. I've set it up just how I really want to have it. Supply limit, terrain, fort. I use that at times. Technology and institutions, culture. I use that from time to time. Unrest, player. I use that when I stream multiplayer games. So let's see. Yeah. So we have that. Let's see. We have the outliner. Just hit the plus button to change how it's set up. I like it. Like to have it like this. Some usually go for the estates as well. I will not, but I will, however, remove the human player. There's no need to show that when it's a single player game. And we can see where the diplomats are. We can see the merchants. We can see my armies. Fast click to them. My navies as well. We have the treasury. Currently we have 320, and we can see how much income I'm having. I'm having +8, 37. This will cheat, however, in the when you start out. It's not showing the actual income. I will show that in just a minute. We have the manpower maximum, the gain, and we have how it's calculated. Sailors. Every time you move out a ship into the sea, they will spend sailors. Currently I gain 10, so I could have 10 barks, 10 light ships out, and I'm pretty sure the Karak, the big ships, use more sailors, so I should be a bit careful about that. But just make sure that whenever you have ships out, that you always gain sailors, because sailors are required for repairs and to build ships. We have the stability. Try to keep it at least at 0. You can live with -1, but preferably 1. Due to prosperity, which will go up if you have positive stability. Corruption has a number of negative stuff. It will lower unrest though, but you will have a harder time taking up, and you will have to pay it down as well. Just like loans, you'll have to pay to get more money, because, well, it's something you can debase your currency gaining corruption. Prestige, it's best to have it positive. You can see in the bottom it will have some positive modifiers associated with it. Most importantly are the morale, the improved relations, aggressive expansion impact. Some people neglect the good thing about prestige, usually because it's easy to have, but it's very devastating when you don't have it. If you have negative prestige and go to war, compared to the last war when you perhaps had 50 prestige, you will feel the difference. Legitimacy, usually at 100. It's basically how your claim to the throne are. It ticks up slowly. Events can rise. You can actually rise it by spending military points as well. We have the power projection. Currently we have quite a lot, because I'm a great power, starting out as France. And yeah, it also has some effect on the morale as well. As we can see, having over 25 will allow me to have one more leader, one more general or admiral, without upkeep, meaning I don't have to pay military points, extra military points each month to have them. If I have over 50, which should be quite easy as France to get, I'll get +1 administration, diplomacy, or military points. These are shown here. They are used, well, anything. You use administration to core, to take up administration technology, diplomatic points to annex vassal, to convert culture. In peace deals, you spend them sometimes if you take something that is not part of the war gold. Military power to recruit generals, to, well, you can prove legitimacy. Not sure what else you'd use it for, really. Later on, you could use it to speed up your armies, to force march. But yeah, usually I use it to take up and develop stuff with get ideas. So let's get into the country view. We have the king, the age. I can disinherit him if I like. Cost some legitimacy and prestige. I can disinherit my heir. I will not do that. They are both fairly good. I have a queen consort. If I didn't have a queen consort and my heir would take over the throne before he was 15, I will be thrown into a regency. Since I have a queen consort, her stats will be used during the regency, and I'm still allowed to wage wars, to declare war. Otherwise, in a regency, you'll not be able to declare war. I can hire some advisors as well, if I want to. I actually have a cheap advisor here, I can see. There are different advisors for different situations. And we have the focus. I can focus on different on military or administration, or simply not focus. Currently it's set to focus on diplomatic. I think I'll keep that though, because I will go exploration at some point, so I'll kind of need it, I think. But then again, it will be a while, so let's just put it off for now. We have the government. I can change the government. I can actually do it already to despotic monarchy, but later on I will unlock other governments. We have the culture. There's nothing much to show, but I will likely do it in a while. Diplomacy, where I can pick rivals, see the opinion of others, create subjects if I want to. See my alliances, see different stuff. Let's see, we have the income screen. Now, this is where you can see, it told me I make 8 ducats a month, but in reality it's only 4 right now. Not sure why it shows the incorrect in the beginning. It will get down once the first month have ticked. I can take loans, repay loans, and debase currency, which will add to my corruption. The inflation view, it's currently not increasing since I don't have a gold mine. It will increase since I take money from enemies all the time. Trade, complemented with the trade view. I have a merchant transferring trade to what's it called, Champagne trade node, and I have one collecting in Genoa. You usually collect in your main trading post, and collecting in a different trade node is actually not very advisable. depends on the situation. There are times where you actually kind of need to collect in another trade node to get more income. I will advise finding videos about that. I'm not very good with trade. I know a few tricks and tips, but well, I'm not totally sure. No, I know the basics of it, like having merchants. In the case of over here, this is an end node, so having merchants transferring trade through several trade nodes will multiply their the ducats and the efficiency, I think. So basically, I'll get more trade power and income over in the end node if I held enough power there. We have the technology view, the institution tech penalty. Later on, currently we have the feudalism all in all of Europe. We can see Great Horde doesn't have, but it's getting there. The striped area shows that it's increasing there. Institution will trigger around 1450. It's not guaranteed to trigger in 1450. It can happen later on, but it will usually do that. And then every year it will add one tech penalty until you have embraced the technology, the institution, which will also have some benefits, like Renaissance will give construction cost, development cost reduction, provincial trade power modifier, stability cost modifier. Yeah, we'll go through that later on. Here we have the French ideas. The two starting out, and once I have unlocked all these, I'll get the finisher over here, which is discipline +5. To unlock the first one, I unlock these in succession. So first I will get the diplomatic relations, then the morale. But to unlock them, I need to have 3 ideas from an idea group. Later on, I'll be able to pick one of these, like exploration. And when I've gotten 3 of these, or I can mix them, have 2 in exploration and 1 in administration, I'll be able to unlock this. It will unlock automatically, but you'll see just when I unlock the first idea group. Decisions and missions. You can decide to pick a mission. Usually there are some benefits to it, like gaining 100 administrative power, diplomatic reputation for royal marriage with province, manpower recovery speed, yearly legitimacy. I can add policy later. I'll need to have finished some idea groups first. And sometimes I'll be able to make some decisions. It will happen later. Personally, you'll be notified about it anyway. We have the stability and expansion. The amount of war exhaustion. It is maxed at 20. It can be very devastating to have it maxed out. So try to keep it as low as possible. You can reduce it by using some diplomatic points. You have the stability. See what good it does. I try to increase it to at least +1, especially in the beginning. We have the religion. I can convert not right now, but I will be able to. Which are deemed heretics and heathens. I have 2 active cardinals, and down here I can if I had provinces that needed to be converted, they will be shown here. Yeah, I could claim to be defender of faith for 500. There can be benefits to that. We can go into the papacy view. It's also down here. Nope, down here. To invest into... it's a chance, really, to become the papal controller. But the more you invest, the higher the chance. You can also use the papal influence point to get some other boons, some other benefits. Usually I go for, let's see, yeah, the Holy War. It's odd. You just have to be at war. You don't have to be at war with a crusading target or something of another religion. You just have to be at war. But it's one of those that I like, since manpower is precious. Otherwise, I go for the inflation reduction, national tax modifier, prestige as well. So let's see, we have the military view. I can see my generals, how many generals I can have, how many troops I have. I can actually decide to change my my unit types. I'll not do that, I think, at least. Usually they start with Latinites. France have decided to go for the Chauvisy. We have some different stats here. It's not really that important. Well, you can look them up if you like, but yeah, it's there anyway. Not much you can change about it in here. You can just glance at it. The army tradition is something that is useful for when you are hiring generals, but everything else is just information you can't really use other than look at them. To decide to mothball forts, as you can see, we have quite a few forts here. I can mothball them, meaning they will not cost me half income, well, half upkeep it's called, but they will also be way easier to take. So I will not advise players to do it early on, and I usually mothball a few forts when I don't need them to get more money, and untick the automatically raise maintenance during war. If you decide to mothball forts until you have gotten a better grasp on how to do stuff, like the fort zone of control can be difficult to handle for newcomers, do not untick this. I will untick it. You should probably don't do it until you know how forts work, or at least get a better sense of how they work. We have subject tab. I can't use it right now since I don't have any subjects. I might get some later, then I can show it off, but well, right now I can't. Estates, the burgess, the merchants, I will call them, the clergy and the nobility, and we have different actions to do with them, and I'll show them once I get started, really. But for now, I think this is... oh yeah, we have also the an overview of how many merchants I have, colonists, diplomats, missionaries. Missionaries as a Catholic nation is usually not very useful, unless you are playing Poland and Lithuania, since everyone are Catholic. There's no use for them until you have something to convert. We have the Age of Discovery going on. We have 4 ages triggering at different times with different objectives. Yeah, I'm just wondering, how the fuck did I, as France, discover America? I haven't discovered America. This must be a bug, and I will likely report it. But because it's quite clear, I have not discovered America. discovered at least one province in either North or South America. But I haven't. I've discovered Greenland, Iceland, I think it is. Iceland, yeah. I should know that, I'm a Dane. Yeah, must be a bug. And I have a large city with over 30 development, likely Paris. So I will gain splendor at 800. I'll be able to pick one of these, and in some cases, some nations have special. What do you call special modifiers you can pick? France doesn't have in this age, but when certain criteria met, you will be able to unlock the next age. Like this will age of Reformation will start once Protestant is enabled, and then 120 months after. Age of absolutism will happen after global trade has been discovered, and Age of Revolutions after Enlightenment has been discovered. Then we also have the Great Power, the Great Power tab, where we can see who are the Great Power. I can see I'm succeeded by Ming. I'll try to put them down below me at some point. And we have the well, it's called the macro menu, production interface. It shouldn't be called that anymore. Where we can build armies, mercs. Don't ever use the cavalry mercs. They're too damn expensive. Well, yeah, unless you have to. We have the same with the ships. Now I can see how much they cost as well. The big ship costs 200 sailors out of 600. Light ships cost 50, galleys 100, cogs 50. The thing with with galleys, they are very cheap, but most effective at inland sea, and there's quite a few. Like Mediterranean is one large inland sea. It will stop at Straits of Gibraltar. We have up around Denmark we have inland seas as well, which will stop here. So having galleys here could be quite beneficial. I think this is an inland sea as well. Yeah. But since we're going to be fighting England at some point, galleys will not be that much useful. We could of course do it if we decided to attack Aragon. Course, well, it's not useful right now. Missionaries, local autonomy. I can raise and lower it if need be here. Change culture as well. If I have a culture not accepted, it would be red. If I have the same culture group which has less drawbacks compared to accepted culture, it will be yellow. Buildings, yeah, I can show. I can see how much it will with the other temples and such. I'll be able to see how much it will benefit the province. Like if I build in Paris, it will add 36 to the tax income. We have the development. I will use that later, but basically develop provinces to make them better, more worthful. And the estates, how they are doing. And the macro diplomacy. I can actually see how my alliances will go and such, etc., etc. So yeah, I think this is a good time to stop the video and go live on Twitch as well. So I'll just save just to be sure.